Smoke on the horizon. Welcome to the party. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. YBR? YBR? Is that supposed to be BRB? YBR? YB? Because I can. Okay. Let's get this started. Eh? Hello, all. Welcome to the stream. I am Paul Mossy Hinton, and it's the end of the year, so we're gonna do just like a little end of the year review and talk about the future. You know, think about what we got going on. Hello, hello, all. Thanks for coming. Hope everyone's having a good night. Hope everyone's ready for New Year's Eve. It's the eve of New Year's Eve, and it's a very important day in a lot of cultures. There's I'm trying to count. It's like I'm losing track. There's so many cultures that it's an important day. So I thought it was good to get on and do a little something in contribution to that. You know what I mean? But it's probably gonna be a pretty quick little stream. Don't really have much activities planned other than again reviewing kind of where we've come from this year, what we've done this year, my plans for next year, and what to expect coming into 2022. Probably that's got to be like my family's luckiest year. It's gonna be my family's luckiest year because we have our lucky family number is 22, and there's more twos in this year than ever before. So except for maybe the year 222. Am I thinking of that? Is that the last time there were three? No, 12, 22. Yeah. But as far as I've been alive, and you all listening, as far as I know, have been alive, it's probably the most 2 years, the toot year, exactly. um, so dial in. Happy almost New Year, dude. Hope everyone's again having a great night. Again, this is just going to be a quick little review stream talking about where we've been, what my plans are. Restating myself again, and also just to say big thank you to everybody who's been supporting the stream, been here and hanging out. Really appreciate it. Obviously, I must say that probably like 10 times throughout the course of the evening here. But grab yourself a little drinky poo. It's a whiskey night for your boy here. So grab yourself a drink responsibly, and sit back, relax. Let's enjoy our night. Reminisce of days past, and look forward to the future. So, starting off, where did we begin? The first streams that we're doing. Hey, Holly, thank you for coming. Cheers. The first streams we were doing we weren't on camera yet. There's no camera involved. We weren't set up in the studio yet. And I think I was streaming just straight from my PS5. I have like all the stuff here that we've done this year, and I was gonna kind of like go over some of the things, and I wanted to have some like metrics. I wanted to say like we did this many streams of this kind in this, but I didn't spend the time and take down that much information to impart upon thee. So not gonna have too much of that. But needless to say, some of the first streams we did. Let's see if I can get some early streams. I hope I don't give away too much information. Now you guys know the name of this file, so I'm kind of giving away a lot of info here. No, this is a later. That's later in. I could probably do this, but I could probably organize this by date, eh? But that's fine. That's fine. Maybe these are all. I didn't originally. I don't think I even saved a lot of the early streams. This is a really early one. Actually, the dates aren't going to really make sense necessarily. Monday, May 24th, 2021. So this is definitely later. After we've been streaming for a little while, but we started off just doing regular gaming streams, and then we kind of developed in Fallout. At least we started with Fallout, my game of choice, and we started doing. I think this probably is one of the first streams. No, this couldn't be one of the first streams I did it in, because again, I don't think I saved a lot of those early ones. I'm gonna dig back. Maybe in subsequent weeks I'll have more metrics for y'all, but I don't. But we kind of developed this in-game photography thing that we've been doing, and I've been having a lot of fun doing it, and kind of building on top of that what I can do with that. So in terms of where we started with the Fallout photography stuff. What's up, Gary? I'm glad you guys have been having fun. If you didn't have fun, I wouldn't have a job. I don't think. Well, no, I'd probably work at Jack in the Box or something, you know. But we built on top of that this kind of it's a game for me, at least, or it's a challenge for me shooting those photos, in-game photography stuff, in that game specifically. And in that game specifically, we do, like I've said on every stream, we do use this awesome real life camera to shoot with. And in the coming year, I do plan on doing a lot more with this camera. We have done at least one still life photo shoot, or we actually shot this camera multiple times, detail shots, but we did one still life of this camera and the accessories that go along with it, or some of the accessories that go along with it. And I do plan on customizing this. If you've been following along with the Fallout stuff, you know that in game they have these cool customizable camera colors and covers to change up the style of your camera. I actually was pretty stoked. Today in Fallout, they had just had a new camera cover that I hadn't had on sale with new colors and things like that. Pretty cool. But in the game, they have interchangeable lenses. They have interchangeable skins. There are in-game photography quests to go on, which I don't think I've even touched on that yet in the game. So I'll probably do more of that. We've been kind of focusing on doing our own thing. But coming up this coming year, definitely going to do some customizing of this camera. Like I said, I've been bragging and talking about that this whole time. It's just getting, again, mostly ergonomically having the studio set up so that I can display and show what I want to show and work on what I want to work on, and have it look okay. But that's going to be a big thing that we're going to do is customizing this camera. Obviously shooting in Fallout more, getting the website that we built, which is prosnapcameraclub.com. Obviously, if you're new and you haven't checked out ProSnap Camera Club, ProSnap Camera Club is a big part of what we are building with that game content, at least that particular game. And if you are not familiar with that stream and you want to see what kind of photography we do on there, obviously prosnapcameraclub.com is a great place to check that out. Currently, it is just some of the early photos that we took on the stream. There's a lot more. I've built a lot of work for myself getting those exported from my capture device into Photoshop, editing those, getting them on the website. It's a lot of work, and I kind of dragged my feet for a while. So there's going to be like a pretty big chunk of work there for me when I get around to it. But believe me, it's happening. And so that was kind of like the first thing we did when we started doing this, is just shooting again in-game camera photography stuff in Fallout. And that honestly is what kind of gave me the idea of specifically focusing on the photography within games, both the camera mode, which is a way for users to photograph usually themselves and their own exploits in the game, to share with friends and things like that, but like also the in-game camera items that you can use to take photos in the game, and what is asked of you as a photographer in the game, what they expect you to do, which again, I haven't even talked about that in Fallout, and there's so much to go over in there. Like we should do some of the photo quests sometime. That'd be a good idea. I don't know why I hadn't done that yet. It's because I'm so focused on what I'm doing, you know? So yeah, that's basically, that's Fallout. That was like the first thing. And doing that made me realize how much more we could do with other games along those lines. And I think the other first game we did, I believe, was Spelunky, which does have an in-game camera item. Looks like I only have one of the streams saved. This is such an old stream. Look at me, I'm in black and white. Again, we're gonna kind of slowly go over like where we've been. I used to wear a hat, you know. This is me dressed as Wayne from Wayne's World. We started in black and white. The earliest things we did were in black and white. There's me with my I have a boxed. I bought like a complete boxed Argus C3, the camera that we were just looking at. I was talking about with Fallout. There's one of the camera manuals that we will eventually, again, on the stream. I do want to customize this. It's going to say Pro Snap. It's going to have all the correct branding. Just rescanning these manuals and editing them. That's a plan for that stream. Look at this good face I paused on. Like I talked about this camera so much. It looks like I think right here I just gotten that camera kit, and it came with this awesome roll of Kodachrome, which I still need to develop. But I started kind of building more of these photo-related in-game challenges and camera stuff to do. And then in Spelunky here, there is a camera item. It's basically a weapon that you can use, and it's very underpowered, so it's a little bit of a challenge to get through the whole game just using that. And that's where we started with that game. Definitely going to continue doing some of that. I love this game, and there's also Spelunky 2 now, which I have not even gotten into, but eventually I would like to try Spelunky 2. Someone told me there is a camera in that game as well, so it would be perfect for the stream. I do intend on doing that, so going to continue doing this kind of stuff in Spelunky. And then also what I've been building on top of just doing the streams is reviewing the camera items and the photo modes in the game, talking about what you can do, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, what I would like to change, my bizarre thoughts on these kind of things. But like, for instance, I just want to talk about in this game, for instance, what camera maybe that this in-game camera would be based off of. I don't think this looks like just like kind of a generic camera that they based this model off of in game, but I could be wrong. Like they could have literally had it a specific camera that they designed. I should probably open these so they're larger on the frame, huh? I don't know. Maybe I didn't plan this out as well as I thought. But this in-game camera item, it could be based off of a real life camera like we saw in Fallout, and I think that's very interesting. And maybe if I build up enough clout, if I build up enough reputation points here, we can get some of the game designers to come, or at least answer an email. I don't know. I haven't tried yet. I could probably get them to answer stuff already for all I know, because I haven't tried. But I would love to hear from the developer or the game designers or whoever it is, the artist, the game artist, whoever. It's not anybody involved with the actual creative or at least intellectual property of the game, just people hired guns or whatever. Who is I'd love to know who's designing those, who's choosing the design of the camera, where are they getting their inspiration? Obviously Fallout, we have a real life camera that they've used, and I would absolutely love to know where that idea came from, the from the beginning to the end. Who was responsible? Was it just one artist who was given the responsibility of, we need a camera item in the game, find a cool camera and make it look, or make a camera that looks cool, or find a camera that looks cool and emulate that? I have no idea how that works. I've never seen anybody talk about it. I'd love to hear people talk about it. I think it's glazed over quite a bit. I mean, even in Fallout, that has quite a big amount of photo related in-game stuff. Not just the photo mode, which a lot of games have a photo mode where you can take photos of your own character and take selfies, and photograph the landscape and things like that. But not as many games that at least I'm aware of yet have in-game camera items that you can actually shoot with. This, like I said, Fallout, we equip a weapon that is a camera, and then we actually look through the viewfinder, we take pictures, we load the film, we can change lenses, things like that. Not very many games that I've played have as much functionality or as much in depth to do with the camera as that. So I'd like to explore that more, obviously. But I want to hear from the game developers what their thoughts were. So hopefully we'll look forward to that. And again, I'm going to review in-game photography items and things like that is kind of one thing I have on my docket. And then we expanded. I think the only other game that we actually shot in Spelunky, I guess I can say I shot, because when you pulled the trigger in Spelunky, you do take photos. There's no way to review those photos or look at them. It's just a another weapon. So when you shoot, it just kind of is like your ammunition is the image capture itself. Which here, wait, let's see. Why did I close that? I could have demonstrated. I could demo. I should just say go watch it, but I should just open these. I don't know why I'm doing them quick view, but whatever. But when you take a picture in the game, take a picture, son. I'm not even gonna get to choose a proper frame because it's gonna be so hard to get the specific frame in there. Okay, well, here we go. So when you shoot a photo, you just get this little reticle popping up, this little viewfinder or this little frame image, frame guide, frame marker, and that's just the hitbox of where the weapon is doing or having an effect. If you're outside of that little border or whatever, you don't do anything to anybody. Sorry, wait, I'm missing some questions. Are you taking pictures or just popping the flash? If a camera snaps alone in the woods, does it still make a sound? That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. I would say I'm taking a picture. I'm assuming I'm taking. I mean, look at my guy, dude. He's wearing a little hat. He's wearing a safari helmet. He's got to take pictures. That's a good question. Yeah, I could just be popping the flash. Throwing me off. What the hell, man? No, I'm just kidding. Just like a child's toy camera. Yeah, again, I don't know. These are the questions I would love the developer to answer. For me, I'd like to think my character's taking pictures, obviously, because then kind of fits with what our thing is here on the stream. That's what I'd say. Either way, I'm totally losing my train of thought. Where was okay? So this review what we can do in this game, building on that, obviously. And that's the only other game that we kind of took photos in that game. And then the only other game on top of that would have been Zelda, which is kind of a relatively new stream or new thing. Let's see, is this the first one? This might be the first one that we did. Oh, it is. Okay, sweet. So then remembering, I had remembered taking awesome photos in Zelda Because this game does have a great photo system in the form of what is essentially an iPad that you use, the Sheikah slate. Oh, there's the aperture, or actually, well, that'd be the shutter closing. I guess that, yeah, I guess that'd be the. I guess it's a Copal shutter, right? That this thing uses. At least that's what that reminds me. Whatever. It might. I guess it's the aperture blades. Is it the aperture or is that the shutter? I don't know. That's a good question. Whatever. It's a digital. It's like a digital camera. So why would it? I don't know if it's a shutterless thing. Nikon just released their first shutterless camera. Mirrorless cameras have been out for a long time, but shutterless cameras, that's new. Or very few cameras have had that. There's like one Sigma and then one Nikon. Have you tried entering the Konami code? Maybe it brings up some secret game menu where you can view all the pictures you take in Spelunky. No, I haven't tried that, but I will. I will definitely. I will take a crack at it. Being that it is not a Konami game, I don't know. Although not that every game that utilizes that code is a Konami game, because I'm sure there's a bunch that have Easter eggs, or I know there's games that have the Konami code as an Easter egg. But yeah, I mean it's not. No, I mean maybe. Anyway, so when we started doing Zelda, and this was actually really fun because I hadn't prepped this at all. I just went into it wanting to explore the photography system in this game more than I had. This game is really cool where it gives you an entire encyclopedia that you can add pictures to, or you can take pictures to add to this compendium that they give you for all the items, all the flora and fauna, all the enemies in the game. It has a really cool way to utilize those photos in the game. But this is a very different type of shooting than we do in Fallout. And it was a little bit of a learning experience. We learned that there's no way to sneak while we're actually taking photos. So you can't really do candids as easily. Although we don't really do that in Fallout either, so I don't know why I always bring that up like it's an issue. But we generally have only combat images in Fallout, at least when we're fighting enemies. And I guess I thought maybe in this game we were going to sneak up on guys and take photos of them. But that actually led to getting some really interesting battle images, combat images that I probably wouldn't have tried if I hadn't had the option, or at least it would have taken me longer to try that. I pitted myself against a golden Lionel. This is like the first shoot we decided to do. I knew I wanted a shot of this guy. I loved the visual of this area. Since I first played it, I remember this exact spot being one of my favorite spots in the game. And it was maybe a mistake to try to fight that thing without having played the game for a while. It took me a while, but I don't know. Maybe it was fun. It was fun to watch me mess up, maybe. Let's take survey amongst the viewers. Breath of the Wild, best game of all time or greatest game of all time? I think Superman for N64 is the best game of all time. Greatest game of all time, which is just its size. Summer Olympics. X Games, Summer Olympics, or something like that. Probably it's most like that's on most lists that I see are like the X Games or Road Rash. I see Road Rash specifically for Sega Genesis as usually most people's favorites of all time. But shooting this game, I have a lot of fun shooting Zelda. Definitely going to shoot more. We shoot a lot of landscape stuff in this game. Hyrule has iconic locations that are kind of consistent throughout all the games. So getting good shots of each one of these spots is kind of fun. Obviously, the Temple of Time, which is what we shot in this first stream that we did, or we did a a portion of this stream photographing the Temple of Time, which was really fun. But it's an iconic location in a couple games. Things like Death Mountain, iconic location in several games. There's our shot of the Lionel that we got. The bummer about this game is that we can't export those images easily. I mean, I can definitely get these off of here, but it's going to be a clip of the video feed, and then I have to crop in because there's no way to do a full screen image on this. So kind of lame, but we are gonna figure out a way around that. I did find some random forum post that was talking about how you can use, if you're playing on Wii U, which I think I didn't even know that you could play Breath of the Wild on Wii U, but on Wii U, you can somehow dig into the file structure and find the individual frames that it's saving. I've heard this. Obviously, I don't have a Wii U to test this out, and it's literally a single person talking about this on one forum. So I have no idea. I can't fact check it. So I'm going to do the best I can, which is going to be just downloading these, recording the image onto my video recorder and exporting them by means of literally just exporting that individual frame and cropping into the image enough to just get that individual image out of there. Please go buy Wii U to test this out yourself. Yeah. I won't buy it right now, but at some point, maybe. I mean, that sounds pretty cool. It's just I'm gonna have to, like, if I could, it'd be cool if you could export your save data from the Switch, Switch and Twitch, very similar, eh? From the Switch to the Wii U. That'd be cool. I don't know if that's gonna make any sense, if that's possible, but that'd be fun, because then it would be easy at least to get, or I would be able to get these images that I've taken so far. But I don't want to switch. I mean, I'm not going to start playing on Wii U. You know what I mean? That's not going to happen. Anyway, Zelda. We're going to play more Zelda. That's going to be fun. Breath of the Wild 2 is coming out sooner rather than later. So I do hope to get to that at some point as well. If there's photography in it, of course. I don't know why there wouldn't be. I mean, it seems like a continuation of the original Breath of the Wild. So it's probably going to be functionally very similar in a lot of the gameplay aspects. I would assume, but I could be wrong. And then also on top of that, surprise, there is photography in another Zelda game, at least that I know of, and there could be more, because I'm not all-knowing, I'm not omniscient or nothing, but there is a photography quest in Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. There's like a little bit of photography in that game, and I think even before I started doing the Breath of the Wild stream, that had been something that popped up in my head, and I need to look at that again and see exactly. I mean, I kind of remember what it is, but there's something there, and I do plan on talking about that at some point as well, as part of these like photography in-game series that we're doing here. And then that's the only other game that we played that really had at least in-game photography that the player can do. We also did our How to Marry a Photographer stream. So I heard this was a party, by the way. I was expecting punch and pie. Yeah, no punch or pie. Sorry, bro. But you can, it's a BYOB situation. So bring your own buy, BIE, buy, booze, whatever. It's to bring your own, it's COVID, dude. I'm not sharing food. We started. I love Stardew. First of all, Stardew is an amazing game. If you haven't played it, play it. But I'm super into this game, and so the minute I realized that there was a photographic angle with which to play this game, I jumped on it pretty quick. uh, in the way of challenging ourselves to challenging ourselves to marry the photographer in game, who's Haley. Haley in this game. This game does have like a romance marriage system, and there's plenty of people to marry in the game, plenty of choices, and Haley happens to be a photographer. It's unclear actually in the game if she's a professional photographer or just a photo enthusiast, because she doesn't have a job as far as I know in the game, and I don't think she talks about it. Her and her sister Emily live together, and they just kind of hang out, and Emily works at the bar, so Emily's bringing home the bacon, I guess. But Haley doesn't seem to have any kind of job, so I'm assuming she's a professional photographer. I mean, she has a darkroom in her house. The only activity she does other than standing around is photography, so I'm assuming that she is a professional photographer. And we challenge ourselves to marry her as quickly as possible. It's like a speed run stream, essentially. Or I consider it a speed run, which I haven't been marking. I know I should mark the stream speed run. Originally I didn't intend for it to be I didn't know if it was going to be a speed run or not. But it is interesting because she is one of the people that you should be able to marry the quickest, due to her birthday being in the first season of the game, which can really boost your affection points with her. How are Haley and Ansel doing these days? I haven't checked on them. They got married, and then that day was the last day I don't think we even continued the day we got married. I can't remember if I played through that day or if I just stopped. And that day, like, we might be able to watch that marriage. I think I saved it right there because I wanted to be able to watch the ceremony and record that if I wanted to. I think I did record the actual gameplay footage while we were doing it, but I did want the ability to just clip that scene whenever I wanted to have it. So, but yeah, we did have a photographic theme. We named our character Ansel after Ansel Adams. It's Good Light Farm, and our favorite thing is photography. Durr. And again, speed run, did our best to marry Haley as quickly as possible. And then we talked about what photographically she does, which there are some pretty funny scenes, again, that I did record. I don't think I have everything. Not everything is in this folder, unfortunately, because I'm so disorganized. But there are scenes of Haley taking pictures. There's special cutscenes that you could only get from having her affection high enough to see these special moments, but you do have like a photo shoot with her at a certain point. She lets you into her dark room where you do make out. I think, who knows? You know what? The lights go off, so you don't know what happens, but you know what? I'm going to guess a lot of hand stuff, and they're definitely making out. Okay, that's my bet. That's where my mind goes. But there's special photographic things that you only get from having the affection high enough with that character. So that was kind of fun, and I do plan on doing a round 2 of that. I'm gonna build some better strategy, and hopefully get our score higher. Which in this case is kind of like golf. We want the lowest number possible, the least amount of time, least amount of money. Wait, what'd you say? Wait, hang on. How did these Haley? Okay, so she could have murdered him. Well, okay, the game's frozen while I'm not playing it, so no, but it's possible. It's definitely possible that my character is now passed away. She might have known that I was no good. I don't know. And if you, let's see, where else that was like the gaming segments that we've had so far, I guess. And then on top of that, actually, before we even started the gaming stuff, look how confused I look right there. Are any of these Are any of these the editing session? Oh, here's our first. Okay, so this is I think this is like the first. This might have been. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like the first photo shoot that we had done. And I think going forward, here's my thoughts upon this. Going forward, I'm probably gonna try to stick with shooting more still life type stuff. It ends up being a really cool animation when you play this back as a time lapse, watching the image take shape, watching us compose and make the minute changes, and then coming into Photoshop and editing, and then finally having it displayed with the border. It's kind of fun, but you can't do that the way we were shooting originally, or the way we have shot. I guess originally we did do a still life, which I will do a lot more still lives, but this the single shot images where it's just a single or a single item that we shoot multiple times, it's not going to come out as well as a time lapse, I don't think. Although I should try it with some of these. It's a lot cooler to see the single shot morph and change shape, in my opinion. See what I did there. I didn't see what you did. Sorry, I don't know. I think I'm missing some stuff. My head is in a different spot. Can we see the cool graphics card? Shoot. Yes. Well, actually, if you want to see that, that is up. I will take this moment. I think it's the last thing I posted on the Instagram, which I know has been like dead. Let's see, is this gonna pop up? Oh, it popped up on me. Yeah, the last thing I posted on Instagram. Dude, it got like 30 over. Holy shit, over 30 likes. You know how impossible it is to get 30 likes these days in this economy? But yeah, check out the Instagram. I'm gonna take this moment to push the Instagram on you, because that's all that matters. Instagram. Guy made $1 million. I did make quite. I've made. Okay. I'm rich. Okay, I have no money is a non-issue. You know what I mean? Thank you, redeemed. Thank you. First redemption. I think I'm yeah, whatever. Redeemed. I was like, are you redeeming me? You're redeeming your own coin to do that, I think is the point of redeeming. I'm lost on internet culture. I'm also new to the internet. If you haven't noticed. Anyway, those photo shoots that we do, I have a lot more planned for those in studio, in-house photo shoots, on stream photo shoots. That was a big dream of mine, was to get those photo shoots up and running, and I was really proud of myself that we got that set up, because I was really dragging my feet on it, getting the studio ready here. Let's pop back into the studio. Come back. Join me in the studio here. Getting this all set up has been a big thing, and that's actually another talking point I got. I got points. Dude, this is a clipboard. You know how serious I am now because I'm using this? You know what I mean? I'm organized, people. Clipboards, organization, okay? There's a legal pad. Okay, it's orange. This isn't regular paper. This is yellow paper. Caution. Lot more attention is paid when it's yellow in color. A lot of talking points here, but studio is still a lot of work to be done in the studio. But I'm really proud that we got something set up and we were shooting something, even though it's nowhere near where I intended it or visualized it. I don't know. That's probably not a legal pad. I'm just messing around. I was really dragging my feet because I wanted everything to be really perfect. I wanted the whole studio to be set up immaculate. I wanted it to be immaculate, Mary, and I wanted it to look amazing. And it was, but it meant I wasn't going to do anything for a long time. And then my buddy Paxmore, Dr. P, explained to me that that's kind of like, that it's going to be a lot more interesting to see that grow and watch that process and watch as things change and see it evolve. And that really influenced me to just do it. Just like there's the day I didn't know what I was going to stream that day. And I just made the goal to have a photo shoot done that night. And I was like, let's just do it. Like it's, I spent so much time thinking about it, let's just do the thing. And we set that up and we did that first photo shoot. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that was the first one, was the that Argus C3 still life that we were looking at a second ago. Again, this camera is big in a lot of ways on the Fallout stream. So it was a fitting thing to shoot first, I would say. And then on top of shooting this camera and shooting in-game with the camera, I do plan on shooting in real life with this camera, shooting like at least one roll. I'd love to shoot like one roll of film through this guy, and just check those out. We did have a stream where I scanned some of my old negatives from this camera, but I'd like to shoot some new stuff and play around with it. And then also on top of that, I did have the fortune of finding this sweet little adapter. Come on, sucker. This sweet little adapter that gives me the ability to mount it onto my Canon R, whatever R I use. I have the R and the R5, so I can put this on whatever R camera that I want. But it's a C mount, the Argus C mount to RF mount, so I can shoot with any of the three. As far as I know, there's only three lenses designed for that Argus C3. There's a 35, a 50, and a 100 millimeter lens, and this will allow me to shoot on my digital camera with those lenses, so we can see how it behaves on a digital sensor and just get a really good idea of how that's gonna come out. So that's a review I have planned, is this C to RF mount adapter and the lenses as well, because I do have all three of the lenses and I have some plans with those. I want to shoot all three of those digitally. This is the 35, very tiny. These are very small lenses. This has a lens hood on it, so it looks, the lens hood is like almost as big as the lens itself. This is the lens, hood. This thing is tiny. And I do want to shoot with those and see how those react on a super high resolution modern camera. Don't forget to follow the stream and turn on notifications, and I'd appreciate it. I'm drinking water because this Streamlabs told me to. It's a good idea. Drink water. Water is very important. And that's just a good way to transition to the reviews that I got planned here. So gear reviews wise, I want to talk about those lenses and using them on a modern camera, obviously. And then also, if you've noticed during our in-studio photo shoots, I'm using quite often these beautiful, amazing, one-of-a-kind tilt shift lenses, or perspective control lenses is probably the more generic term, although Nikon calls them perspective control. A lot of companies call them perspective control. Canon has them designated tilt shift, TSEs, tilt shift electronic lenses. And these are incredible lenses. They're my favorite lenses of all time. The way you shoot with these is the way I prefer to shoot, and I have a whole long explanation talking about that. Randy C. Photo. Hey, Randy. Nikon, you see those? And I have a vintage one. Oh, no way. Do you have the 28 or the 35? I want to buy one of those. I actually do plan on buying those and talking about those. Do you have the 35? Oh, man. Okay. So 35 is a focal length that's very interesting. Not for sale. Yeah, I want it. No, I could just play. You find them on eBay pretty easily. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Randy. Thank you for coming. That lens is very unique. There is no, and this is something I do plan on talking about more in depth, but there's no 35 millimeter tilt shift or perspective control lens in Canon, a modern version of that lens. Canon has a vintage 35. Nikon has a vintage 35. and I'm sure there's more that I'm not thinking of. I think I had a Russian branded, like a RSAT 35 tilt shift for a while. Um, Use it on models, get really cool stretch effects. Closest you can get now would be a Lens Baby, and those, yeah, right, exactly. So what I do, this is good bringing up this point. It's very good. Again, I want to have a better breakdown and explanation of a lot of this stuff. If you're just joining us, Randy, by the way, this is just kind of like our year-end review of what I've done so far in the stream and my plans going forward. And I was just in the middle of explaining that, talking about these tilt shift lenses that we have been shooting with. Thank you for the follow, Randy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You've just bumped my follower goal up, which I need to reset. There's no actual. It says 35 out of 50, but there's no time. So anyway, really appreciate that. Amazing. But if you're new, yeah, we're talking about what we're looking forward to doing this coming year and what I plan on doing. And again, we've been shooting. If you are new to the stream, we have been shooting with these tilt shift lenses in our little makeshift studio, and I will do more of that. A goal of setting, yeah, I'll set the goal. My New Year's resolution is to reset my follower goal. Working on it. It's good. That's a challenge, dude. That's a big challenge for me. But anyway, going back to that 35, I used the Canon 24 millimeter TSE, the version 2. If you put the 1.4 teleconverter on it, which is kind of an obscure thing to do, not many people. I think Canon doesn't really come out and say you can do that. I think I learned that from the Digital Picture, which is amazing website. I should be able to share that. I'm not gonna actually wait. I can share that website. It's an amazing resource. The Digital Picture. I want to be able to share this. This is a great way. I've been following this website and utilizing their resources for so long. Least I could do is I mean they're well established. Brian, I think, is the creator's name of the Digital Picture. Boxio, hey Boxio, thanks for coming. Can we stay in touch? Oh, this is okay. So anyway, Digital Picture website. He's the one that clued me in his review of these tilt shift lenses. He talks about using the teleconverters on it. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Randy, I can't help you. 50 over 2. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm this Iceworm. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the follow. Hashtag that. Thank you. Thank you, Randy. Oh man, you guys are amazing. Yes, those all count. Those all count for Randy. Nobody else. That's equipment. Do you process your own film? I have processed this in this darkroom. I have processed quite a few rolls of film. I have the film tape on my darkroom door here, signifying, which is something I learned from my brothers. I don't know if that is something. I think I asked my brothers that, and they're like, "No, I just started doing that." But the tape that it's really, I think it's really only on 120 film that you get that. I shot a lot of medium format in my film processing days, and so I have all the tape that goes on the rolls of 120. This, like, for instance, here's a roll. I don't even know what's on this. I shot this such a long time ago. Some T-Max 100 120 film. No idea what's on this roll, and I do plan on developing it. I can't. I could do the processing, at least have the chemicals ready and agitate and dump the chemicals, and we could do some developing on the show. That'd be fun. But yes, we have definitely developed, or I have developed in the studio. Yes, I have printed on this enlarger. This was my father's enlarger, that he very generously. He didn't give it to me, but he let me use it. I have not printed with this since high school. This has not been printed on since high school. My darkroom here is very basic. There's no running water. I had to hook up my print washer to the hose spigot outside to agitate and rinse the prints, which I only had an 8x10 print washer that I could hook up like that. When I was doing anything larger, I was using the bathtub and rinsing with a giant tray for like the 16 by 20 prints and things like that. Since high school, looks like about 4 years ago. I know I'm a kind of a. I guess I look young, but no, it was quite. I won't even. I don't even want to talk about my age. Process some old film you find. Yes, okay. Boxio. I thank you for bringing that up because we talked about this like 10 minutes ago. Um, but again, I do shoot. I have this affinity towards this Argus camera, and I found one in box on eBay, and it came with this roll of Kodachrome loaded, right? So only a few of the exposures were safe, still rewound into the film or into the canister, but there might not be anything on this. But I do plan on processing it. That is I love that you brought that up because that's exactly what I plan on doing with some of this stuff. But I mean, the rolls of film that I have up here are just rolls that I've shot personally, and I just didn't get around to processing them, or they got lost or something in a box. And now I would love to work on processing those. High school 23 was 2020. I am not that far off, my friend. I hate to say that about myself. Well, I don't hate to say that. I don't care how old you're as old as you feel. First of all, that's what I like to think. And I will say cheers to that. Cheers to that. Happy New Year, by the way, all the new friends that we've just got. Thank you very much again for coming. Hope everyone's having a good night. No. I am not as old as I feel because I feel about 80. Okay, yes. Yeah. Well, okay. So you're as old as you want to be. How about that? Is that Oh, photo searching. Oh, thank you. Yes, YouTube. Yes. Is that automated? That Streamlabs thing? That was pretty cool. Yeah, you guys, dude, age doesn't matter. Plus, as a photographer, I feel like you kind of like people don't respect you until you're a certain age, or at least that's how it kind of felt like for me. Yeah, Streamlabs. Yeah, that Streamlabs thing. I was like, oh, because I do have moderators. I have friends that moderate sometimes. Which I appreciate my moderators. Thank you very much to my friends who have been here and supported me. And again, while there are many people here, I just want to say thank you for being on my stream, supporting me. This is a big thing for me. I just started this year. Again, that's why we're doing this little review, talking about plans moving forward, things like that. Which we're talking about this tilt shift lenses. We have been shooting with those. Again, if you're new to the stream and you haven't caught any of those earlier photo shoots, Streamlabs is very smart and attentive to bring up the YouTube because most of them do end up on the YouTube. Go figure, low base. Yeah, low base is dude, low base guy. Okay. I need to say a big thank you to low base guy. Low base guy has just been such an accepting, helpful, welcoming person on Twitch to me. He just, with open arms, accepted me. He's promoted me on his stream. Like I just big thank you. I don't think he's here right now. I'm bad and I don't have the list of who's on the stream. Plus, it's not the most accurate thing in the world, so I can never tell who's here or not. But Low Base Guy is just such a friendly person, so amazing, and I've heard of some of his acts of kindness on top of just for me. So, amazing person. So thank you very much, Low Base Guy, for everything you've done. I believe he is the one that he bequeathed me with my first raid. He raided me for the first time on one of these early streams. Actually, let's see if we can find it because it's gonna look really silly. I realized how silly it was gonna look. What stream was it on? I think it was a Right with Light. It was one of my Right with Light streams, which is what I was talking about, where I was dissecting the content we've done so far. No, I saw him as a follower on your Insta. Photo friends help. Yeah, photo people, we help each other out. We are all, as he has said on my stream, we were talking about helping each other out and things. We are all in this together. I mean, we're all, as photographers, at least my goal is to display the beauty of this world and demonstrate how amazing this world is and how much it has to offer, and sharing that with other people. And he said the exact same thing. He said, you know, we're all in this together and we're all doing this together. Oh, I should have had this ready. Whatever. He rated my stream for the first time, and I feel really bad because I had nothing. I had no alerts up. I had no chat box or anything. Like, you can't see anything that's happening. So it's just like me reacting to them saying nice things, and I was so flat. Like, I can't even describe how flattering it was uh, when that happened. So anyway, big thank you for that. I cannot even describe how much I appreciate that. Because getting a little personal, doing this, the reason I started doing this is, like, I kind of got fed up with the way I was treated in the professional world. I hate to say this. It's kind of negative, but it's also positive because it led to some pretty cool stuff here, I'd think. But I just really did not like the way I was treated professionally. And I've had some really bad experiences professionally, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of letdowns. Um, and I wanted a place where everything was under my control. Nobody was going to tell me how things should be done, or I was not going to open the door to disappointing other people when things weren't ending up the way they wanted them to be. What we have here, this is all, you know, and I use the word we a lot because I consider this a big collaboration, but it is also, it's my personal space as well. Um, yeah, fellow jaded photographers. Right. Have under 50 followers, still green. Yeah. Um, sorry, I'm still, again, getting good with following the chat and staying on top of all that stuff. So I'm sorry if I miss anything. But this all began because I was just so disappointed with where I was in my professional life, and how I was, honestly, how I was treated more than anything, just feeling so low. And then finding a space where I can do my own thing, and if people don't like it, they can leave, and if people like it, they can stay. And having been accepted by so many people from the community so far has just been such a great honor. It's just like, honestly, I feel so good about the way everybody's treated me. Like, I honestly was expecting so much more trolling and so much more shit talking going on. Um, just because the internet is that way. And I think it speaks really well to photographers as a community, and photography and art. I think art generally as a community, about how we kind of all support each other and we band together and we help each other out. And so I just thankful and very appreciative of all the love that everyone's giving me, especially now. I mean, this is incredible. I did not expect, I didn't know what to expect tonight. I mean, I almost didn't go on. I didn't even come on the stream tonight, and that honestly seems to be a big element for me. Is like, when I don't, like, if I push myself to go on, good things usually happen. So I really appreciate everybody being here. Safe place for jaded photographers. Yes. Wait till you get affiliate and have to figure out your emotes. Oh, I know. Working on that, right? That's our follower goal. Photogs on Twitch are a good group of buttheads. Yes, so far it's been incredible. I mean, seriously, everybody has been so amazing, and I hope I can give back a little bit. I have very little to offer at this point with how low on the totem pole I am, but I do have a very strong sense of giving back. So I hope to do that at some point. Which kind of brings me into giveaways. I do want to provide some cool stuff to give away on the stream. And I did one contest where I gave away one of the photos that we were editing on one of the photo edit streams. And I'd love to do more of that because, again, I want to be able to give back a little bit. That is a costly area to go into, giving away things. And so photo prints are probably going to be the best I can offer right now in terms of giveaways and things like that. But I do want to do special stuff for people eventually. And so I know I have a Patreon, and I don't do like anything with it. Good time to plug the Patreon. Obviously, if you want to, is that going to work? Patreon. Here we go. Rion. Yeah, Patreon. I started a new Patreon. Patreon. It's tequila based. French. uh, but obviously, if you want to support the channel in a better way, this is just me doing my rehearsed. If you want to support the channel in a better way than just following the stream, check out the Patreon. Captain Picard, dude, we are all Trekkies here, my friend. Live long and prosper. Thank you very much. Envoy video game photography. Yes, Boxio. Yes. If you scroll back in the stream, I explained. I think I finished the gaming part of talking about what we've done so far. But yes, we do a lot of in-game photography. That's actually how this entire stream began. Was I was literally playing just to game. I was playing Fallout 76. And in that game, there is an in-game camera item that is based on, and again, I've already said all this, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself too much, but the in-game camera that I shoot with in Fallout is based on this Argus C3, and I've built a lot of stuff just based on shooting with this camera in the game, and I'll pop it up again if you want to see the photography. I call it photography. When we're shooting in-game photography stuff. But we do have in Fallout, that's a very Fallout specific website, but we are building on top of just that game quite a bit, just because that's where what I already know, and I do have a lot of ideas going forward. There are other games that I'm going to play and do in-game photography in. But since that's what I knew that I knew going into it, I'd have content to do in Fallout. So we started there. I have some cool stuff we're going to do with that. Customizing this camera to be more like the one in the game. And then obviously shooting with it in the game. A lot of cool stuff. So yes. In video game photography, yes. And there's going to be a lot more of that in this coming year. I promise you that. And let's see, dude, I was talking about reviews. Like, again, we talked about the in-game photography stuff, and then I was transitioning into just talking about, again, the studio here that I have set up, which has come a long way, but there's still a lot to do. I do intend to set up a little bit more of a studio space that is actually set up as a studio. Right now, I mean, I was shooting literally just in the corner here inside of a wooden box for some of the first photo shoots that we did. And there's a lot of renovation that has to happen here to get it to where I want it to be. I'm setting up a rail system, not on the ceiling, but at least higher up so I can mount a lot of this stuff right now. And I should show photos of my space here, but it's so cluttered. There's so much, all the working desk space that I have is right now taken up by my monitors and my light. And I want to hang all that so I have a lot more working space here for the studio and to do actual photo shoots. And that's why I was talking originally when everyone popped in, I was talking about having shot with the tilt shift lenses or the perspective control lenses on the photo shoots, and that is all in preparation for talking about and reviewing these lenses, talking about why I shoot with them, what's special about them, and maybe comparing some of them. I'm probably never going to do, or I don't intend on doing, like sharpness comparisons and all the real technical stuff. There's plenty, like the website I had posted, the digital picture, they have amazing test charts photographed with all of these tilt shift lenses. Crazy Salt Man, I'm not a photographer, so I hope it's okay. Of course it's okay, you chime in. I found you because of your Breath of the Wild. Yes, I was seriously surprised how interested in photography. Oh, good. Yes, awesome. I mean, one thing I like to say about what I think ultimately I'd like to impart, if I'm not just entertaining people and you're just interested in watching what we're doing on the stream, what I would say is I'd love to be a driving force behind people shooting. Redeemed. Thank you, Gary. Um, I would love if I could be like an ambassador of photography, like that would be amazing. People should photograph more, and I mean, people already shoot enough. I'm sure a lot of people shoot plenty, but maybe they're not taking it as seriously as they could, or they're not looking at it as a creative outlet as much as they could. Thank you, Redeemed. Um, we have some Star Trek redemptions in the works, I believe, or at least I have intention of getting some good Star Trek redemptions. I know we got some more Trekkies in here. Um, I have a whole review of photography in the Star Trek universe, and there's very little that I can go on based on my own internal knowledge. But I do, and I guess I can transition into that. On top of those tilt shift reviews, let's finish that up first. Let's finish up the tilt shift, talking about the tilt shifts. These are my favorite type of lenses to shoot with, and I photograph. I love architecture and interior photography, and these lenses are very well suited for that type of photography. And we have shot with, again, on the stream, on our photo shoots that we've done, we've shot with these lenses. Right now I'm holding both the Canon 50 millimeter perspective controller tilt shift lens, and then the Schneider 50 millimeter perspective controller tilt shift lens. And where, again, I want to compare these, but I don't want to just say like this one has better corner sharpness or this one has less chromatic aberration. Like those are things that I think anybody can shoot or anybody can test and anybody can photograph and get those findings. And there's plenty of resources out there that have already touched on that. But more just the standpoint of like usability, ergonomics, especially between these two lens designs. These two lenses have a very different physical control for the tilt and shift function, and just talking about what I like better, how I like the way the process goes shooting with these two lenses. And like maybe I'll touch a little bit on like if I really notice one lens being extremely soft versus the other, like wide open aperture, like I'll mention that or something. But again, I had literally looked into buying some lens test charts, and I was looking into setting up a little studio to just photograph the lenses itself. But like, you know, again, I think so many people do that kind of stuff. I'd like to try to do something a little bit different. But those lenses are very unique and kind of a niche product. So I would love to talk about at least my use of those lenses. I'll check out. Okay, let me save that video. Hang on. Open. Oh, yeah. Oh, the photo. Oh, I thought you said video. Oh, yeah. Oh, gear stuff. I know I haven't done any gear. Oh, that is a good collection. And there's a cat. I like the... Oh, there's two cats. How did I not see the... I only saw the one cat, and then the other one popped up. Okay, I'm a big cat person, and I'm a big camera person, and that is... Yeah, this is yes. Got the Polaroid land camera, got some 8mm camcorders. Oh, that is a slew of gear. Yes. Dude, I think, is that a Canon Optora? Because that's what I have right here is my Canon Optora 10. I do have a lot to say about this. Is my first video camera. Yeah, D1. Oh my God. Yes. Yes, Gary. I've only owned personally either Canon or Nikon gear. I say Nikon. I used to say Nikon, and then I say Nikon almost as for fun because it's the way Japanese people say it. I know they've come out and said that you're allowed to pronounce it however the hell you want. They've said like you pronounce it however you want, but I heard the Japanese like CEO pronounce it, and I was like, I'm gonna say Nikon from now on. Wish they make a 35 1.8 for epic portrait work. Yes. D1. Dude, you could do D1s are still perfectly viable image capture devices in my opinion. Stereo version of that camera. Oh no crap. Dude, Canon just came out with a pretty sweet stereoscopic I don't think it's made for VR stuff. I don't know if it's actually designed. I think for stereoscopic stuff, you want a longer focal length, and the one that they came out with is like a fisheye, but or at least ultra wide. Oh, the D810, such an amazing camera. Holy crap. D850 Z9, yes. Yes. Um, did you say you do own the D850 or the Z9, or you're gonna get one? You should. I was talking about the shutterless. I mentioned how the Z9 is like one of the first shutterless. Mirrorless is one thing, shutterless is another. Every camera, every camera, yes. That is an incredible picture, and then your cats are absolutely adorable, and I love cats. I love cats so much. I talked about how much I love cats one time in the right, and somebody said like, "Oh, there's like some kind of parasitic organism that you can be infected with that I guess changes your perception of cats or something." I read a brief thing about it. Boop their nose. Yes, cuddle with them. Cuddle with them for me, please. And cat loves so amazing. I love cats. Anyway, yeah, that's some good gear, dude. Congrats. Um, Tilt shift lenses. I want to review those. I want to talk about those and why I use them and how I use them. In the studio, I want to demonstrate the functionality of those cameras and what you can do. I think all I've done so far on some of the limited little photo shoots that we've done, all I've really been able to demonstrate is how you can extend the depth of field by swinging or tilting the lens. And then shifting, we've done a little bit of shifting just to recompose and things like that, but there's a lot more to demonstrate with that, and showing the technique and how we can utilize those camera movements to increase our creative output. I think is going to be a fun thing to do. And then going back, I actually literally it's so funny. You come in and you talk about that Nikon, the perspective control lens, the 35. I've been so close to buying. I think the 28. I think I haven't looked at the 35 because Canon has a 35 manual focus. Well, they're all manual focus, but FD mount rather, their old mount for their manual film cameras. They have a 35, so I was always looking at that Canon 35 as like a retro 35 tilt shift to use or perspective control to use. And then the Nikon, they have the 28, which was more interesting to me. And then modern wise, I have a couple of these Schneider perspective control lenses. Here's the 50. I also have the 90 millimeter lens because I did want to compare those to the Canon equivalents. But they also have a 28, which is a very interesting focal length because there is no, again, except for those the old Nikon lenses, and there might be, I think there's a Zeiss, there might be a Contax for the CY Contax Yashica mount. There's a I think they have a 28 or a 35. Maybe I should know. But I'd love to talk about all those lenses. But the Nikon 28, I've been pretty close to buying one of those. But I'd love to look at those and talk about their viability. And again, demonstrate how you can use those for creative effect and how you can obtain as much control. One reason I really love those lenses is that they give you the absolute most amount of control over the image that you can have. And I love shooting architecture and interior photography, and that's where those lenses are very, very well suited to shoot. Z mount, the day one had the FTZ adapter. Oh, right. New 70-year-old lenses still work up. Yeah, right. I know. I always loved that. I had, and I still have, I have a couple Nikon lenses. I don't have them prepared for me. Actually, one of them has an EF adapter on it. But yeah, that was always really cool. When I had the D700, amazing freaking camera. You can still get amazing images with the D700. Same sensor as the D3. Yeah, when the D700 came out, I was like, I'm switching. That's when I switched. I went from the original Canon 5D to the D700, and I loved how I had a bunch of the old AIS glass. And you could you mount them right on there, right? F mount is F mount. It's like same thing. So you'd no adapter necessary, and you could use all your classic lenses. I thought that was really, really cool. Obviously, with the mirrorless revolution, a little more difficult to maintain that level of backwards compatibility. But with the, again, you said FTZ adapter, you can use those adapters and it's great. First dig was a Fuji S1 Pro. Yes. I thought that would, like, when I was getting into digital photography, I remember the Fuji S3, which was the newest Fuji at the time. I thought that was like the end all be all, because of their super, what do they call it? Super CCD tech. They had a pretty sweet sensor design that like optimized the dynamic range or increased the dynamic range compared to a lot of digital cameras. And dynamic range was always like my big, I was like, more dynamic range. And now we're like, dynamic range is the most amazing. Like at every camera, it seems amazing dynamic range. 22 years old. Yeah, I would still love interwoven sensor. Yes, that's what. Yeah, it was like. Yeah, what I'm not. I don't even want to get into the exact design of that sensor, but like, yeah, it was like it was a lower resolution sensor, but yeah, it had the look of a higher resolution super CCD. Is that what they call it? Super CCD? Exmor? Is it the Exmor technology? Make myself sound like a fool. S1 died. No. That's a bummer, but at least you still have it. Anyway, reviewing those tilt shift lenses, that's big on my list of things to do, and demonstrating how I shoot with those and the technique using those lenses and why I love them. And then other than those reviews, one of the first reviews, 4.2 million photos. Yeah. One of the first things I do plan on reviewing, because again, I do have a lot of reviews in the works, but I have been shooting with this awesome little it's called Fun Leader. This lens is the brand name Fun Leader. It's a leader of fun, actually. This is basically a lens in cap, or a cap lens, or a body cap lens. It's an 18 millimeter ultra wide, fixed aperture, obviously fixed focus lens. It basically just turns your camera into a point and shoot, but it's a very interesting lens, and I have some cool stuff to talk about and say about it. And I've been working on that. That's something I'm planning that to be probably one of my first reviews that I actually shoot and edit and publish, because it's a fun lens to use. Fun leader. It's a leader of fun. You expect it to be pretty fun to shoot with. I'm preparing that review. And some cool stuff. I have some interesting things to say. Again, I don't really want to review things and say the same crap that you can find on anybody's review site. I want to try to transmit some kind of unique things about these pieces of tech, about these pieces of gear. So I have some interesting things and thoughts about this lens that I could show and talk about. Plan on doing that. And then the other first review that I'm going to have, again, I want to keep things as simple as possible. I'm literally going to review, I probably will talk about the battery itself. Focus sucker. But the LPE6, and this has been the same, this back plate cover, here, focus on that thing. The back plate cover, the back plate cover for these batteries is something I plan on reviewing. I know that sounds insane, but I have my bizarre thoughts on this little thing I want to talk about, as crazy as that sounds. But again, I want to do things that most people do not talk about. I don't want to just regurgitate golden wood for you. You know what I mean? I don't want to regurgitate all this crap. Let's check the list, dude. What else have we got? I got a lot of stuff. Movie reviews. I have my own unique take on movie reviews that I'd like to do, and they're all photographically oriented. Basically just digging into a movie that has some kind of photographic element to it. And the first thing that we're going to talk about, one of the first things I plan on talking about, is Harry Potter and the Harry Potter movies, at least, it would obviously pertain to the books as well. But the movies are kind of the next step in that, because in the movie there is a photographer that uses, it's not exactly the Argus C3, this exact camera, but he does use an Argus camera model in the movie. And I'd like to talk about that. And then that is the style that I'm planning on using for all of my movie reviews. Literally just talking about the in movie camera stuff, or the photography in the movie. I have taken note and have a lot to say, or at least something to say, about the use of cameras in movies, and either it being incorrect or correct, or just the gear that they use. Interesting to see the gear that they're using. There's quite a few movies that pop up, but like I said, the first movie I wanted to do was the Harry Potter series, because this camera that we've already been playing around with does feature heavily in that film, or at least a character in that film uses this camera to effect. Talking about that, I mean, talking about the photography in the Harry Potter world is interesting, because they have those live images that we now actually have in real life. I mean, Apple implemented their live photography technology or system, which essentially just records a short video clip or whatever, but they at least implemented a way to shoot an image that is much more similar to how they have it in Harry Potter, which is pretty cool. So that's one of the first things I like to talk about. But then there are movies that feature in a more realistic way the photography, or photography in general, the photography. And so I do have a lot of those in the works. Obviously, I love how people suggest things. I love how people tell me, try this, I'm so open to that. I need more ideas, even though I do have a lot. I mean, I probably have enough content developing for the next year, definitely. But if I get a better idea, I'll knock the bad ones to the bottom. So always happy to hear people's suggestions and recommendations. I love to hear that kind of stuff. So yeah, movie reviews. If you know a movie that has a photography element to it, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. I do have a pretty long list already. Again, if I was going to do like a couple reviews a month, if I was going to do two movie reviews a month, I probably have enough for at least the first year. But like I said, we're going to do Harry Potter. I almost said Zelda. Zelda and Harry Potter, very similar, I guess. Speaking of ideas for content, it would be rad to see you role play as a war photographer shooting players. Yes. Well, we did some of that. Yes. And I have, this brings me to a good point, Gary. I have an entire photo build. Doing the photo streams in Fallout, that's all helping me build what will be the produced, not only review of the photography in that game, because that's one of the first games that I'm really building a lot I can say about the photography in that game, but then also I literally have a photo build that I've been waiting to release when I have some more stuff, because the photo build video would be something that would go on the YouTube, and then we would just play with that build on the stream, which I've already been doing it essentially. It just I haven't really been calling it out, because again, I was hoping to have that kind of released when there was more on the YouTube and there was more established, like because again, all the YouTube is now our past streams, and so I kind of wanted to build some of that developed content and organize the content on the YouTube before I released that. But yes, and Gary, you've asked to come on and shoot, and that's actually something, or you've asked to come on and shoot me while I'm shooting in the game. And yes, that's another thing I would hope to eventually be able to do, is collaborate and have somebody else in the game with me. I have worked with my brother John. I don't know if John is here still, but my brother John has worked with me at home offline, just doing it ourselves, but has collaborated and helped me to create some photo shoots in game, because there is a collaboration that has to happen between the player characters um, doing the actions and then me actually taking the photo. So we've shot some stuff together like that. And then on some of the streams, I did shoot on the what stream was it? Was it my birthday stream? I did shoot some other players. I've shot other players in Fallout. It's just that usually I'm offline, one, so the game doesn't crash as much, and it's more stable. But then two, just so that I'm not boning other players using the explosives that we're using in that game. It can cause some havoc that is not ideal for other players. So I was trying to maintain a level of discretion offline, I guess. But we did do a couple times where we shot other players during the events, and I do plan on doing a lot more of that. So yes. And Gary, yeah, I loved when you asked me to come on. When you're like, oh, let me come shoot you. Like, yeah, dude, we're gonna do that for sure. And then in general, just a lot more collaborations with other people on the stream is a big thing for me. One thing I wanted to bring up on that note, in terms of collaboration, we did do one screenwriting stream, which I know, like I was gonna say, talking about the content that we've gotten so far. Some of this stuff, I was like, well, maybe we won't ever do this again. Which maybe I won't. Maybe I won't do another screenwriting stream. I don't know. It's different than a lot of the stuff we do. What was incredible, or was incredible? It's not really incredible, but what was unique about this stream in particular was this was the first time that I actually had my camera set up, face reveal as it is called. But it was a big moment. I wasn't again intentionally not showing my face or anything like that, but it was just a big work build up. I am a pretty self-conscious person. I'm not the most forward pushing, I don't know what word I'm looking for here. I don't promote myself on the internet very much. I mean, I'm just really bad about really just posting anything on the internet. I don't know. My friend was giving me crap for this the other night. Like, you gotta post more stuff on social media, and it's like, I know that's actually something I've been meaning. I am working on that. I want to build more of that going forward, or do more of that going forward. So I apologize. I know my Discord is like barren. My Instagram might as well be non-existent. YouTube's going okay. I'm slowly getting more content on the YouTube, right? Either way, it's growing. It's definitely growing. But collaboration wise, I'm a big fan of filmmaking and film cinema in general. Me and a lot of my friends have worked together on quite a few productions and such. And then this first stream that I jumped on camera for, was for this screenwriting stream. That is going to be, it's really a cheesy horror movie that I'm writing here, but it is based off my own real life phobia, submechanophobia, which is it's a real life affliction, people. Okay. I'm very scared. Things that are underwater, usually mechanized, obviously mecha here, mechanized objects underwater especially scare me. Some people with this phobia are also afraid of things like statues, inanimate objects, shipwrecks scare people. Those are kind of creepy to me too, but nothing is scarier than a underwater turbine or like an underwater propeller, things like that. Anything that's moving, mechanized, I hate it. It's just like, I will not, terrible. So anyway, it's a big fear of mine. I've had it for a long time. And I finally kind of came up with a concept to create a movie that's based on my fears and a storyline that would kind of be fitting for that. And so we began writing this screenplay. It's about the main plot is somebody dealing with submechanophobia who goes to a water park, a water theme park, and then unbeknownst to them, the park is like one giant terror machine for people, well, not people with submechanophobia. There's a lot, and I will, again, if we do this again, I will go over what I've developed since then, because I mean, that storyline is in my head all the time. So I do plan on doing another writing session. But this, I do consider this a collaboration with at least a few of my friends. Me and my friends have made a lot of horror movies together, at least a couple horror movies together. And my buddy Dylan, who was here earlier. Again, I don't know. I never see who's here or who is not, because this thing, it's never correct when it says who's in the stream still and who isn't. It never is the right thing. So I don't even look at that anymore. But my buddy Dylan was in here. We've worked on a few productions together, and I kind of consider this a collaboration with everybody that's on the stream, first of all, but then also with him specifically. We have written a couple of things together and worked on a few productions together. So I would like to do more of that and collaborate just in general with people. Actually, let's see here. Where did that go? We made the zombie movie together. This is my buddy Dylan, acting. God, my eyes look crazy from this angle on my cam there. Anyway, this is a movie I did, a high school project. I think in this, this is the I was showing off some of the previous work that I've done on here, previous film work, but I do hope to do some more stuff like that. And then also in terms of collaboration, I did shoot. I made this little war movie with my friends for. Do you want to know more? For a high school project. And I do intend on editing. I want to re-edit this entire video. I want to add special effects to it. And then my good buddy, NWO Sound, who I don't think is here, but if you are here, I love you. My buddy NWO Sound, who's an amazing sound designer. I do hope to collaborate with him and have him come in and add a lot of the sound design, because I did it myself and it's terrible. But that's another collaboration that I was hoping to do. Again, I might not get around to that or not, but I do want to collaborate more with people. And those are the two hopes that I have. I loved this image of, I was trying to just show off like how much I love doing carnage in film. Like that's what's fun, is making it look like people blow up and get hit by cars and get shot. This is me talking about myself, talking about my movies. It's getting deep, dude. This is some next level dreams shit here. But anyway, I would like to collaborate more with people like that. So yeah, Gary coming in and shooting in Fallout, shooting photography in the game while we're shooting our stream stuff. That's one collaboration that I'd love to do, as well as, again, this writing collaboration, maybe some filmmaking, film design, cinema work as well. And then maybe we won't write at all. I don't know. I would love to finish that screenplay at some point. That was the goal, is like, let's finish this screenplay on the stream. Why not? That was my whole concept. And then that's what else we got? Let's check the, you really gotta have a clipboard, people. Yeah, again, the studio, lot to work on there. Big thing is honestly just getting that rail system set up so that I can hang at least my monitors, my light, have a little bit more space on my desk to actually do those photos. This is where not only will I do the photo shoots, but then also, like I said, if we're going to do those customized camera workshops, I do want to have a nice top-down perspective so you can see us work on those cameras or whatever it is we're going to work on. Because not only do we want to do that, but we also want to scan the manuals, the camera manuals, and make them ProSnap camera brand specific. Dude, I think that we're pretty good. That's pretty much covering pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. Take a sip of my beverage and think about that. Oh, okay, no, here we go. Another big plan. I have been, and the reason that we were shooting with this tripod head specifically on the streams. Oh wait, hang on a second. We are way too small, eh? Way too small. Welcome back to the studio. We've been shooting with this tripod head. This is the Rogetti RG1 Genesis tripod head. It's got to have two names or it's not cool. I think this is like the version 3 they call this one, although there's very little differences, I think, between the new versions. The like 2 or 3 iterations that they had of this tripod head. But I've been shooting with this in preparation to review this tripod head as well, in a segment that I will call, when it's ready, the quest for the best tripod head, because I have literally been on a real life quest to find what I think is the perfect tripod head for the way I shoot. Again, I will talk more about my style of shooting specifically, because even the way that we're shooting here when we're shooting on the stream, this is not necessarily the way I would prefer to shoot all the time in every situation. And I will talk about why I choose this gear and the way I like to shoot, and how this gear is helping me shoot the way I'd like to shoot, essentially. And this tripod head is getting very close to what I consider the best tripod head for me. I also have the other tripod head I'm actually using to hold my my on stream camera. That is another tripod head that I was hoping this tripod head would replace. I don't know if it's going to yet. Yeah, I gotta check out the videos once those are ready to find out what's gonna actually happen. But this is a very good tripod head, and I do have a lot to say about it. There's just a couple things that I don't like about it that I'd like to talk about as well, but is a very good tripod head. But I do intend on having a nice little series talking about that. Again, because I shoot in a very different way than a lot of people shoot, that is where I would like to go with those kind of reviews, just talking about and demonstrating how the gear helps me shoot the way I want to shoot. I would probably never say, I know I say best tripod head, and that's why I keep saying it in quotations, because one tripod head is never going to be the best tripod head for every photographer. Every photographer shoots in a very different style. They like shooting in a different way. Some people don't ever put their camera on a tripod at all. I'm a tripod-based photographer. It's the way I like to shoot. I'm very slow. I'm very contemplative, and tripod-based photography suits my style very well. These type of tripod heads as well are very well suited to the way I like to shoot. And so I'm always talking about it from that standpoint, from the way I like to shoot. I don't know how other people shoot, or I don't know how you shoot, you the viewer. So I'm never going to tell you that this is the right thing for you, unless you're asking me specific questions and you literally want advice. I'm happy to do that. In fact, I do want at some point to have, I will probably do streams that are specifically like photo gear recommendation streams, and it's just literally me fielding questions from people and pointing people in the direction that I think they should go in terms of what gear to buy, what camera to use. And I'll be very general right now in saying that I will always tell you that you need a lot less than you probably think you need, because there's people out there. I mean, my bro John right here. Did you remember to talk about kicking up the 4D 3D? Yeah. Oh yeah. We're gonna do, dude. It's not even gonna be 4D 3D anymore. It's gonna be 5D 5D, 4D, 4D4 is what it will be next year because we're kicking it up a notch. But my brother John shoots the most incredible photos and videos with his iPhone that I've ever seen. And and the last time someone asked me for a camera recommendation, I literally said to them, I was like, well, have you really experimented shooting with your phone as much as you could? Like, have you taken all the time you could and tried everything you could, with your phone? Because I see amazing content coming from people's phones. I have seen photos from people's phones that are better than anything I could hope to take, or at least as high quality as anything I would hope to shoot. So it's hard for me to tell anybody that they need anything more than their phone. Uh, what you need is always here and here. You need your creativity and uh, your mindfulness. That's all in your head. And then your heart is telling you how you want to express how you see the world. That's the most important thing. And any camera is going to allow you to do those two things. It's pretty rare. Um, Very few people have ever come to me and said, like, I need I can't get, let's just say, the frame rate. My camera doesn't shoot a high enough frame rate for me to capture these images that I want to capture. Like, that's a very specific technical aspect of a camera that that people can say. People, sports photographers, they probably need a higher frame rate camera. And that's where I'm saying, if I was going to offer people advice on what cameras to buy, if someone comes on my stream and says, like, I want to shoot football, I really love football, I really love tennis, I really want to photograph motorsports, I really want to do this, I can point them in the direction of a good action-based camera with a high frame rate. But most type of a lot of photography is very non-technically oriented. And again, it's going to be much more about your creativity and your self-expression than anything else. So it's very hard to say you need anything more than your phone, especially with how incredible camera phones have become. The R3, yeah. If you have the money, go buy an R3. It's an incredible camera. The R5, but for me, again, the R5 is the better choice, despite it being a, arguably lower end camera. At least it comes in at a lower price point, right? So, um, yeah, I will very rarely suggest you buy more and more and more and more and more. I will probably be I don't know if I'm the devil or the angel on your shoulder telling you need less. Maybe I'm an angel. For the camera companies, I'm a devil because I'm telling you you're not going to need as much. And it's all very funny because I'm a pretty big gearhead and I love all this gear things and these gears, these pieces of gear. I love all this stuff. And I have a lot to say about that. But creatively speaking, you do not need as much as I do not need as much as I have, and I do not recommend that people obtain as much as I have necessarily. And one thing, we said this on one of the stream, I think I got rated on by my buddy Low Bass Guy and Ray's a fan. I hope it was. I honestly, in all honesty, I don't know how you can know who rated you. I just know that Low Bass Guy and Ray's a fan were the two most active people on there, and those are the two people that I've kept up with the most. So I apologize if somebody else is the actual one that rated me, but I think it was between one of those two people. And both those people, again, thank you very much. You're amazing people. But one thing we had said during that first stream where I was discussing it with them, I think Low Bass Guy is the one that said, photography is like my passion, and then the gear is like basically the hobby behind it. Is like, we love the camera gear and we love that stuff, but we also know it's not the most important thing in the world, especially to creativity. Although, sometimes you can buy a piece of gear and it will spurn your creativity, and that's fine. So there's a lot to say about that, but irregardless, you don't need as much gear as you think, and I would never promote the fact that you should buy or spend more money on gear. So keep that in mind, obviously. and I will always remind you of that. Um, I think that's pretty much it. Well, I got this. Okay. Well, I got this is a little, I have a loop deck thing. I've been meaning to get this set up. It's a little control pad thing, so I can be have a little bit more control over what's going on. I do want to set that up. That's kind of a very specific goal of mine for the new year. I think that's pretty much it. Um, Mainly, I wanted to say thank you for everybody that's been supporting the stream and been helping me get this done and um, helping make this happen. I have a lot of really good people in my life. I won't even single anybody out because that's kind of tough to do. Plus, I can't say real people's names, or I'm trying not to. I'm not going to say your real name, John Walter Mosi Hanton. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to dox you like that. That's all. Um, but I have a lot of friends that have helped immensely. Paxmore, I will say, I will single out Paxmore, Dr. Paxmore, who I don't believe is here. If you are here, you haven't been saying much. What the hell, man? Just kidding. Thank you very much, Paxmore. I actually most likely would definitely not be here if it wasn't for Paxmore. I will say that much. He's also been the one. He is the reason we have the redemptions. He is the reason we have Streamlabs automated setup at all. He is one of my moderators. Thank you very much, John. You're also one of my moderators. Thank you very much. Immensely flattering that I'm worth the time and effort to do any of that. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And then just anybody who's been here, all my patrons, all my Patreon, love you people. Dylan, you did not have to become a patron, but thank you. Paxmore, you did not have to become a patron. John, you did not have to become a patron, but thank you. I really appreciate that. Y'all are very flattering, very encouraging, very inspiring. Inspiring is probably the best word because it's like I wouldn't think that it would matter if I did any of this if you all were not helping me out in that way. So I very, very much appreciate that. And to everybody that's come and just viewed the stream and given me a follow, like all these great people that popped up tonight. I can't like you've made my night. Randy C photo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You brought all those people together and onto my stream. I appreciate that. I don't think that was technically a raid, but basically you raided me. Boxio. I'm trying to find these people that were popping up tonight. Hashtag that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Boxio, thank you. Iceworm, thank you. Again, Randy C, thank you very much for being a part of this tonight. I did not expect that at all. I didn't know what to expect tonight. I was questioning whether I should go on. And again, when I push myself to do this, when I take the leap, instead of just being shy, because I am a very shy person. And it's not easy. It really is not easy popping up and coming on here and doing this. I have a lot of anxiety. A lot of people have a lot of anxiety. I have just as much anxiety doing this. As simple as this might seem, it's not easy. And having people like you come onto the stream and encourage and give me those kind words really make it all worth every minute. So I really appreciate that. And I wish everybody a very, very happy new year. Be safe. Please all be safe out there. Don't do anything silly. I personally am staying inside and not doing anything. Me and my girlfriend are just going to hang out and relax and watch movies and eat some good food, have some drinks together. No parties. We're just going to hunker down, be safe about it. And I hope everyone else has a very safe and happy, fruitful new year. I will be back. I guess I can't say exactly when I'll be back. I'll probably try to do something next week. I was hoping to take, I did take a couple weeks off already these past like 2 weeks. Cheers. I know I haven't been on, I think at least for almost, was it like 2 weeks ago? I should see when my last stream was, but it has been a while. Um, so I'm not sure. I was gonna say I'm gonna take some time, um, and maybe help the studio out a little bit here. Do a couple of things in the studio. But I'll probably do something. I should at least do like at least one other. I should do like a photography stream or something. I might not do any Right with Light photo shoots, which is what I've been titling it, Right with Light. We Right with Light might not do any actual in studio photo shoots, at least this coming week that I can say. But I could be wrong. Maybe I'll get my act together and do some stuff. I don't know. Um, but I can say I'll be back next week. I'll do something next week for sure. Just not sure what it is yet. But again, hopefully all of what I've talked about sounds interesting and exciting and worth the time to come check out the stream and hang out, and be a part of it. Again, I do look at this all as a big collaboration with everybody that's on the stream. I love people's input. I want to hear what everyone has to say about what we're doing. I'd like people's creativity to be part of what we're doing. Usually when we're doing the photo shoots, I do love to hear people's advice and see if, like, oh, what if we crop this little side out? Like, what if we compose it like that? I do ideally want people to contribute to the shoots and tell me how they feel about them, and what they would do different. I love hearing, even if it's a difference, even if I say I'm definitely doing this thing and someone wants to do the complete opposite, I really love to hear your opinion and I want to know why you would do it that way. I think that's what makes things interesting. It gets pretty boring when everyone's like, yes, let's do that. Yes, agreed. Yes, agree. I agree. I think disagreements are more interesting than agreements most of the time. And the people I love in life seem to be people that contradict what I say a lot more than the people that just accept and agree with what I say. So please disagree with me. Please tell me how you feel. Um, and yeah, I will always remind everybody to, and especially this whole next year coming up, love yourself, love others, and love life. Be happy. Don't lose your dinosaur, which I will take the time right now to explain what I think that means. It is a quote from a movie called Step Brothers, which is a great movie with John C. Reilly and Will Ferrell. Great movie to check out. Very funny. Probably inappropriate in some regards, I'm sure. Hopefully there's nothing too unpolitically correct in there that I'm promoting, but it's a good movie to see. At a certain point in the movie, though, and I should know the actor's name, being such an idiot, but one of the actors is giving a monologue about how they used to love dinosaurs and they would run around acting like a dinosaur, and then growing older, and maturing, they lost that drive to basically be themselves and express themselves the way they wanted to express themselves. Or at least this is how I take it. They lost the ability to express themselves. They matured, they grew up, right? And they lost their dinosaur, but that's what they really loved. And the quote, the end of the quote is like, don't lose your dinosaur, which is don't lose that passion for what you're passionate about. Don't forget why you're doing what you're doing. Do what you love and love what you do. I was listening to Andrew WK. Gary, I was listening to Andrew WK. My buddy Gary tells me I remind him of Andrew WK. I wish I had a voice like Andrew WK. I would probably sing. My voice is not as cool as Andrew WK's voice, but anyway, his quote. What's the song called? Party on? Party? This is called Party. What's it called? I should know that. Gary, help me out if you're still here. Whatever. He says, do what we love and love what we do. Always do what you love and always love what you do. Don't lose your dinosaur. Be passionate about what you're doing. If you don't know what you're passionate about, don't worry about that's fine. There's plenty of time to find what you're passionate about and do it. But don't lose it. That's what I'm saying. If you knew, maybe when you were a child, you knew what you wanted to do, and then again, you matured and you grew up and you kind of lost track of what you were passionate about, but there's always time to find that passion again. I wouldn't say you would never lose your dinosaur. I think my change in that quote would be, don't forget your dinosaur. I would say it's a forgetfulness. It's a misplacement of your passion, I guess. So even if you think you've lost it, which again, I don't think you can lose it, but it's just missing. It's just it's in the lost and found, and you got to find it again. So when I say that, that is what I mean by that. Um, don't don't lose what you're passionate about. Try not to. Encourage yourself to do what you're passionate about. Stand up for what you're passionate about. I encourage all that in a general sense, being very true to yourself. And what I've done here and what I've been building is the most true to myself than I think I've ever been. And that's why I love this so much. And that's why I feel so good about what I'm doing, is it's very true to myself. Um, so again, thank you all for being a part of that. Love yourself, love others, love life. I will see you all next week. Enjoy your New Year's Eve responsibly. Goodbye, all. Signing off for the year. Paul signing off. I love you all. Goodbye, all. Be well, all. What else? Any more outro stuff to say? I feel like there's always like a million things. I was like, oh, in the outro, I'll say this. I'll say that in the outro. I think I said everything I wanted to say. Again, one more time, I'll just say thank you to everybody that's been a part of this and everybody that's made this happen, because none of this would happen. I mean, I could be doing this, but if I was talking to nobody, it wouldn't be fun. So, and it definitely wouldn't be meaningful, or at least no one else would think it's meaningful. So appreciate everybody being here. I love you all. Goodbye. Peace.